This webinar provides an introduction to the EnerGuide rating system administrative procedures. It will highlight some of the important updates and revisions that have been implemented toward the administration and delivery of the updated EnerGuide rating system. The administrative procedures explain the administrative roles and responsibilities of Natural Resources Canada, service organizations, quality assurance specialists, service organization managers, energy advisors, and builders. Registration and licensing details are also discussed. There are 4 EnerGuide rating system exams used to assess exam candidates' skills, knowledge, and abilities for specific roles in the delivery of the rating system. 3 of the exams are based specifically on the content found in the EnerGuide rating system standard and accompanying procedural documents. These 3 exams are the Energy Advisor exam, Service Organization Manager exam, and Quality Assurance Specialist exam. The 4th exam is a foundation level exam, which is an additional qualification requirement for energy advisors and quality assurance specialists under the EnerGuide rating system version 15. The foundation level exam is not based on content from any specific document published by Natural Resources Canada. Instead, this exam draws from industry best practice and a wide range of sources. To learn about test center locations and to register for the exams, please visit this webpage. For each of the 4 exams, there is a separate document called an Examination Competency Profile, which lists the specific learning objectives that are tested on that exam. To assist exam candidates, the learning objectives for the Energy Advisor exam, Service Organization Manager exam, and Quality Assurance Specialist exam are linked to specific sections in the EnerGuide rating system standard and accompanying procedural documents. The Examination Competency Profile for the foundation level exam contains only the specific learning objectives. Candidates are responsible for ensuring that they have the required knowledge to pass this exam, which may be acquired through self-study and building science courses. Exam candidates should thoroughly review the relevant competency profile prior to taking the exam to assess whether they have the necessary skills, knowledge, and abilities to pass the exam. For complete information on the EnerGuide rating system version 15 qualification exams and to access the competency profiles for each of the exams, please visit www.enercan.gc.ca/homes. Various learning objectives for the Service Organization Manager exam, Quality Assurance Specialist exam, and Energy Advisor exam will be addressed in this webinar. Note that this orientation does not replace a full review and study of the administrative procedures for the purposes of exam preparation. Rather, it is a high-level overview that aims to familiarize members of the current network with the updated EnerGuide rating system. Here is an example of how this webinar may be used for exam preparation. In the Service Organization Manager Examination Competency Profile, Learning Objective 3.3.1 is explain the role of a service organization in regards to general administration and delivery. The second column shows that the learning objective applies to the Energy Advisor exam and the Service Organization Manager exam. Column 3 shows which document addresses this objective, and column 4 provides the location in the document where the applicable material is discussed. In this webinar, when discussing Section 4, reference is made to specific sections of the administrative procedures where the roles and responsibilities of a service organization are outlined with a brief description of the new requirement. It is important to be familiar with the terms and definitions. These are commonly used terms for the delivery of the EnerGuide rating system and are found throughout the document. For audiences who have studied the standard or viewed its webinar, some of these terms will now be familiar. Section 2, Code of Ethics, Code of Conduct, and Conflict of Interest refers to Appendix B of the Administrative Procedures, where each of these subjects are individually addressed. All individuals and organizations associated with Natural Resources Canada's housing programs must adhere to the Code of Ethics that is outlined in Appendix C. It is comprised of the Code of Ethics, Code of Conduct, and Conflict of Interest requirements. Adherence to these requirements is a condition of registration or licensing with Natural Resources Canada. Natural Resources Canada is responsible for coordinating the administration of its housing programs at the national level and to advise service organizations in the field. Note that Natural Resources Canada's responsibilities have changed in line with the new requirements under the EnerGuide rating system. For example, in the area of administration and delivery, in Section 3.2.1, note some of the new or updated roles and responsibilities of Natural Resources Canada. The fourth bullet states that Natural Resources Canada will now track the registration and deregistration of energy advisors and builders, and Bullet 6 adds the tracking of the designations of quality assurance specialists and service organization managers. The final three bullets expand on Natural Resources Canada's exam-related responsibilities, such as developing competency profiles and exams, and ensuring that the exams can be delivered across the country via exam centers. Section 3.2.2, Database, Software, and Online Services, also includes new responsibilities of Natural Resources Canada. For example, in Bullet 2, there is a commitment to maintain a database of service organizations, energy advisors, quality assurance specialists, and service organization managers. The fifth bullet states that Natural Resources Canada will provide access to the EnerGuide rating system report generator, which is a new piece of software used in conjunction with HOT 2000. Section 3.2.3 discusses reporting and quality assurance. The second bullet says that Natural Resources Canada will provide input and feedback to service organizations based on the Service Organization Annual Report. This report is a new requirement under the EnerGuide rating system. It is outlined in full in Section 10.1, and a copy of it may be found in Appendix C. The use of this report will assist Natural Resources Canada in determining whether a service organization has met the terms and conditions of its license agreement and obligations under the administrative procedures. As per the third bullet, Natural Resources Canada will also continue to provide third-party quality assurance audits on service organizations and energy advisors to determine their compliance to relevant procedures. Full information on quality assurance is outlined in the EnerGuide rating system Quality Assurance Procedures. Regarding the use of official marks and graphic identifiers, according to Section 3.2.4, Natural Resources Canada will continue to provide advice and guidance to the delivery network, such as service organizations, builders, or partners, regarding the use and reproduction of its official marks and graphic identifiers. Natural Resources Canada is responsible for managing and monitoring the use of EnerGuide rating system marks and graphic identifiers on behalf of the Government of Canada and resolving issues as they arise. For full details on the guidelines regarding marks and graphic identifiers, see Appendix D. The role of service organizations is to deliver Natural Resources Canada's housing programs in the field. In Section 4, note that service organization responsibilities have changed somewhat in line with new requirements under the updated EnerGuide rating system. For example, in the area of general administration and delivery, new service organization responsibilities are stated in Section 4.2.1. The fifth bullet states that service organizations are to provide Natural Resources Canada with the name of the service organization manager. This is a person within the service organization who has successfully completed the Service Organization Manager exam. Further details on the roles and responsibilities of the manager can be found in Section 6. The ninth bullet states that service organizations must ensure that energy advisors whom they employ or subcontract have passed the required energy advisor exams and are registered with Natural Resources Canada. In order for an energy advisor to be registered with Natural Resources Canada, and thus active, they must have successfully completed the foundation level exam and the energy advisor exam, and be affiliated with a service organization. Service organizations must complete and provide to Natural Resources Canada a Service Organization Annual Report, the template for which may be found in Appendix C. Service organizations must also provide proof of the builder's possession of a home warranty number or the provincial territorial equivalent as applicable. Section 4.2.2 discusses the file administration and labeling responsibilities of service organizations. Some of the new or updated responsibilities are as follows. According to the first bullet, house evaluation files must be submitted to the Natural Resources Canada database within 30 days of the evaluation. Service organizations are to maintain and store necessary records for a period of at least 3 years from the date of the evaluation. Mandatory documentation to be retained is outlined in the EnerGuide rating system quality assurance procedures. Service organizations are to comply with all applicable laws, ordinances, rules, regulations, and codes in effect in their region of delivery in Canada, including the Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, or the provincial or territorial equivalent. Note that energy advisors must also adhere to these acts. More information can be found in Appendix A. Section 4.2.3 is quality assurance. Service organizations must designate a quality assurance specialist who will be responsible for all quality assurance activities within the organization. This individual must have passed the foundation level exam, energy advisor exam, and quality assurance specialist exam. Section 4.2.4 is marketing. In the area of official marks and graphic identifiers, service organizations must continue to comply with Natural Resources Canada approved messaging and use of official marks, and approved builders' promotional material to ensure it also complies. Natural Resources Canada requires a minimum of 5 business days to approve marketing materials referencing the EnerGuide rating system. For full details on the guidelines regarding marks and graphic identifiers, see Appendix D. Section 4.2.5 addresses the recruitment of service providers such as energy advisors and quality assurance specialists. There are several new service organization requirements, in particular related to energy advisor registration. For example, the second bullet says that service organizations must ensure that energy advisors and quality assurance specialists provide proof of a criminal records check. In the fourth bullet, they must provide service provider candidates with relevant documents in order to assist them in exam preparation and registration. In the fifth bullet, service organizations are to ensure that energy advisors have completed the necessary training, exams, and probationary files prior to submitting registration requests to Natural Resources Canada. Note that for transition, currently active energy advisors who have submitted a file on January 1st, 2012 or more recently will not be required to complete probationary files. However, they will be required to pass the foundation level exam and energy advisor exam. From the seventh bullet, service organizations are to submit requests for energy advisor registration to Natural Resources Canada by submitting a completed and signed copy of the Energy Advisor Registration and Activation Request form as found in Appendix E. And from the final bullet, service organizations are to ensure that any applicable requalification exams are completed by required deadlines as outlined in Section 9.5, which is typically every 3 years. Section 4.2.6 states that an optional form has been developed to assist in the determination of eligibility for services of a house. The form may assist service providers in initial data collection and determining the service or services that best suits the client's needs. It is designed to be completed in advance of the service and identifies whether the client's house type meets eligibility requirements for EnerGuide rating system services. The form also includes a brief description of each of the EnerGuide services, which may be discussed with the client in order to determine the service or services that best meet their needs. This form and the mandatory EnerGuide rating system evaluation authorization form may be found in Appendices F and G, respectively. Section 5 discusses quality assurance and the role of the quality assurance specialist. Quality assurance is critical to protect the integrity of the EnerGuide rating system label and evaluation services, as well as to protect the interests of homeowners, builders, and partners, such as provincial, territorial, and regional governments, utility companies, and others who use the EnerGuide rating system in the delivery of their programs. There are two principal types of quality assurance associated with the EnerGuide rating system: internal and third party. For full details on all quality assurance processes, please refer to the EnerGuide rating system quality assurance procedures. Service organizations are accountable for the quality of all EnerGuide rating system services that it provides and must employ a quality assurance specialist who has passed the Foundation Level Exam, Energy Advisor Exam, and Quality Assurance Specialist Exam. Section 5.2, Duties, is specific to the duties of the Quality Assurance Specialist. Among other things, the Quality Assurance Specialist is responsible for overseeing and coordinating quality assurance activities for the service organization and ensuring that they meet Natural Resources Canada's requirements. This includes performing internal quality assurance audits on house files submitted by energy advisors and working in cooperation with external quality assurance auditors contracted by Natural Resources Canada. All quality assurance activities must be performed in accordance with the technical and performance requirements outlined in the EnerGuide rating system quality assurance procedures. As stated in the fifth bullet, service organizations will be required to submit a Service Organization Semi-Annual Internal Quality Assurance Report. Section 6 discusses the duties of the Service Organization Manager. The Service Organization Manager oversees all aspects of the organization as it relates to the delivery of the EnerGuide rating system. While a Service Organization Manager has always been involved in overseeing delivery of the EnerGuide rating system, and much of the role has not changed, it should be noted that the Service Organization Manager is now an official role. This person will typically be the primary contact person between the service organization and the Natural Resources Canada account manager. Key responsibilities of the Service Organization Manager include, in the third bullet, providing the main point of contact for the homeowner in the event of a dispute. In the seventh bullet, completing and submitting the Service Organization Annual Report to Natural Resources Canada. This is a new report requirement. Ensuring that evaluation files are submitted to Natural Resources Canada within 30 days of the on-site visit. Ensuring that the label and reports are delivered to the homeowner or builder within 14 days of an evaluation. And managing, along with Natural Resources Canada, the suspension and deregistration of energy advisors and builders. The Service Organization Manager must pass the Service Organization Manager exam. Energy advisors are responsible for performing services in accordance with the EnerGuide rating system's supporting documents, the Standard, Technical Procedures, HOT 2000 User Guide, Administrative Procedures, and Quality Assurance Procedures. As highlighted in the second bullet of Section 7.2.1, energy advisors must pass the Foundation Level Exam and Energy Advisor Exam, complete the registration process through a licensed EnerGuide rating system service organization, and sign the Energy Advisor Registration and Activation Request Form. A sample of this form may be found in Appendix E. The last two bullets refer to client personal information and the Privacy Act on both the administrative and homeowner interaction sides. Notes 1 and 2 clarify what constitutes personal or non-personal information. Additionally, in the area of homeowner interaction, energy advisors must ensure the homeowner understands that the EnerGuide rating system home evaluation authorization form must be signed to receive the basic service or renovation upgrade service. This form can be found in Appendix G. A key change to note in Section 7.2.3 Service Delivery is that energy advisors must personally model the HOT 2000 files for houses they have evaluated. As outlined in Bullets 5 and 6, Energy advisors must also ensure that homeowners or builders are provided with reports, fact sheets, and labels as per the type of evaluation received within 14 calendar days of the evaluation. Also note that the homeowner must sign the blower door test waiver if a blower door test will not be performed due to vermiculite being exposed to the interior environment of a house. This waiver can be found in Appendix H. New home builders have a strategic role to play in the delivery of Natural Resources Canada's suite of housing services. New or updated builder responsibilities include the following. As highlighted in Section 8.2.1, builders are responsible for registering with Natural Resources Canada according to the procedures outlined in Section 9.4 and Appendix I, the EnerGuide Rating System Builder Registration Form. Also, they must work with service organizations and energy advisors to make corrections or take remedial action to files or houses where issues have been identified. Additionally, builders are responsible to attest to solar-ready installation when applicable. On the communications side, builders are advised to train sales personnel in the marketing and sales of energy efficiency upgrade packages and promote inclusion of these at the sales stage. Marketing materials can be accessed on the Natural Resources Canada New Housing Resource Centre website. There are a number of new processes in place related to exams, registration, and licensing. This section describes the exam process, the licensing process for service organizations, the designation process for quality assurance specialists and service organization managers, and the registration processes for energy advisors and builders. As there is much new content here, read this section carefully to ensure you have a thorough understanding of these processes. Table 1 displays the EnerGuide rating system exams that energy advisors, quality assurance specialists, and service organization managers must successfully complete. The exams are an important part of assessing whether candidates have sufficient mastery of the required skills and competencies to perform services. The EnerGuide Service Provider Competency Profiles provide information on the competency categories and learning objectives for each exam. Exam preparation can be done by obtaining training and mentoring from service organizations, through educational institutions, through self-study, or a combination of these and other methods. Service organizations must be licensed with Natural Resources Canada prior to delivering EnerGuide rating system services. Typically, a request for proposals process is used on an as-needed basis to license new service organizations. Successful applicants must complete the qualification requirements for key personnel, namely a quality assurance specialist and service organization manager, and sign a license agreement with Natural Resources Canada. The note adds the clarification that a service organization may have more than one person qualified for both the quality assurance specialist and service organization manager positions. Additionally, one person may serve in both capacities. Section 9.2.1 lists the designation process for quality assurance specialists. While service organizations have always performed internal quality assurance on the files they complete, under the updated EnerGuide rating system, the role has been formalized. In particular, in addition to demonstrating energy advisor status, the quality assurance specialist must pass 3 EnerGuide rating system exams: the foundation level exam, energy advisor exam, and quality assurance specialist exam. Additionally, the quality assurance specialist must be affiliated with and recommended by a licensed service organization. Section 9.2.2 lists the designation process for a service organization manager. To be eligible for the new official role of service organization manager, the successful candidate must pass the service organization manager exam and be affiliated with and recommended by a service organization. Section 9.3 outlines the registration process for an energy advisor. In the first sentence, note that energy advisors must be affiliated with at least one licensed service organization and be registered with Natural Resources Canada. The successful candidate must pass the Foundation Level Exam and Energy Advisor Exam, complete the prescribed probationary files, and provide proof of a criminal record check. Section 9.3.1 discusses probationary files. As mentioned earlier, for transition, probationary files will not be required of current energy advisors, that is, advisors who have submitted a file since January 1st, 2012. Table 2 shows that probationary files are comprised of observed, supervised, and solo evaluations for both existing and new homes. Sections 9.3.1.1 to 9.3.1.3 provide specific details for each type of probationary file type. Section 9.3.2 includes additional clarification. For example, the first bullet acknowledges that if fulfilling the probationary file requirements is unrealistic due to the housing market, a combination of actual evaluations, sample files, and friendly files may be used. The fourth bullet states that once the minimum number of probationary files have been completed and the quality assurance specialist and service organization determine that the candidate is ready to be registered, the service organization manager must complete and submit the Energy Advisor Registration and Activation Request. This form is located in Appendix E. The registration process for builders is outlined in Section 9.4. The registration form is located in Appendix I. Section 9.5 discusses requalification requirements for energy advisors, quality assurance specialists, and service organization managers. Requalification exams must be passed every 3 years or as required by Natural Resources Canada. Additionally, there is a 30-calendar-day waiting period for rewriting the exam after an unsuccessful attempt. Energy advisors must pass the requalification exam by the deadline provided, at which time they will be suspended until they pass the exam. Refer to Section 11 for information on suspension. A new requirement under the updated EnerGuide rating system is the Service Organization Annual Report, which is to be submitted to Natural Resources Canada. The report will assist Natural Resources Canada in determining whether the service organization has met the terms and conditions of the license agreement and the administrative procedures. The report is comprised of requirements for Natural Resources Canada and the service organization. Section 11 describes protocols for suspension, delicensing, deregistration, and revocation of designation. Natural Resources Canada reserves the right to suspend or delicense any service organization if the terms of the license agreement and associated documents, including the Code of Ethics, the Code of Conduct, and Conflict of Interest guidelines, the administrative procedures, or the marketing guidelines are contravened. Section 11.1.1 specifies infractions such as failing to complete and submit the Service Organization Annual Report, failing to manage the service quality of energy advisors, failing to continually employ at least one energy advisor, service organization manager, and quality assurance specialist, and negligent or criminal activities. The procedures for suspension and delicensing are specified in Section 11.1.2 as they relate to each type of infraction just mentioned. With regard to energy advisors, Natural Resources Canada reserves the right to suspend or deregister an energy advisor deemed non-compliant with EnerGuide rating system procedures. The process is explained here. Infractions are classified as being either major or minor. Table 3 presents examples of each. Sections 11.3 to 11.5 provide details on the deregistration of builders and the revocation of the Service Organization Manager and Quality Assurance Specialist designations. Section 12 discusses dispute resolution and the initial roles of Natural Resources Canada and service organizations. This includes providing documentation to Natural Resources Canada as required, working with energy advisors and builders to make any corrections to the file, managing any remedial action, and communicating as necessary with the homeowner and builder. Appendix A contains a discussion of the Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act and the Government of Canada's privacy responsibilities. The Privacy Act also imposes responsibilities on service organizations, regional offices, franchisees, staff, and subcontracted personnel working with the EnerGuide rating system. Appendix B is Code of Ethics, Code of Conduct, and Conflict of Interest. Individuals registered or licensed by Natural Resources Canada for delivery of the EnerGuide rating system must adhere to these codes and conflict of interest requirements. Appendix C contains the Service Organization Annual Report. The Service Organization Annual Report is a new requirement for the EnerGuide rating system that will assist Natural Resources Canada to evaluate service organization activities on an annual basis. Failure to complete or submit this report may result in suspension or delicensing. Full detail on the report will be outlined in this appendix. Guidelines for reproducing, applying, and using the EnerGuide rating system official marks are provided in Appendix D. The EnerGuide rating system identity consists of the name and identifier. This appendix outlines details about their use. Prior to publication, marketing materials must be submitted to Natural Resources Canada at homes@nrcan-rncan.gc.ca for approval as directed in Section 4.2.4. Appendix E contains a copy of the Energy Advisor Registration and Activation Request Form. This is for use by service organizations when requesting registration of energy advisors. In Appendix F, the form Preparation for On-Site Service may be used by energy advisors and service organizations to guide interaction with the homeowner prior to the delivery of a service. Appendix G contains the EnerGuide rating system Evaluation Authorization Form. This form is for use by energy advisors and must be signed by the homeowner prior to the basic service or renovation upgrade service being delivered. As seen in Appendix H, the blower door test waiver is to be signed by the homeowner in the event that vermiculite exposed to the interior environment was discovered during the on-site evaluation. In this case, no blower door test will be performed in accordance with the requirements of the EnerGuide rating system technical procedures. Appendix I contains the EnerGuide rating system builder registration form. This is for use by service organizations when registering builders. This concludes the EnerGuide rating system administrative procedures webinar.